So this is Nick Williams here with Jerry. Hi Jerry, how are you doing?
Hi Nick, I'm fine, thank you.
So I'm really curious about you and your work. You know, you're passionate about helping people change careers. Where does that passion come from for you?
I guess it probably comes from my own experience, because I've been, in jobs where I've not felt at home. I don't think I was ever at the point of being really ill from my job, but just kind of feeling that I wasn't in the right place, I wasn't comfortable in the kind of role that I was fulfilling. And I've changed direction twice. First I changed from one area of work to another, and the second time I changed was when I left employment to become self-employed.
Oh, so you've got a lot of personal experience of career change.
Yeah, and I think for people who want to change direction, those are two very obvious options. Sometimes people are clear that they want to stay in employment, but want to do something very different, and other people want to escape what they see as the trap of employment and find the freedom of self-employment.
Right. And what kind of problems do you see people have? What kind of traps do they fall into when they're in a job that they don't particularly enjoy, but kind of just think they've got to be stuck with it?
Well, I think that's it. They think they've got to be stuck with it. It's the kind of mindset that they can't see an alternative. That it's a job that they're familiar with. They've kind of adopted the identity of teacher, nurse, accountant, whichever it is that they may be doing, and they find it very difficult to think their way out of that box. So my job really, I see it very much as helping people to think outside the box, to use the jargon, if you like. But it's helping raise their awareness of the fact that there really are other possibilities out there that they can go and explore.
And that they have other possibilities, because I've heard you talk about this, that you like opening people's minds to new possibilities.
Yeah, so it's not other possibilities, just possibilities that are out there, but it's seeing other possibilities in themselves, or perhaps even better, it's about discovering the possibilities within themselves, because it's not about transforming them into somebody different. It's about allowing the real me, the real them to emerge.
Great. So it's also about growing themselves as individuals, or kind of liberating themselves as individuals.
Very much so, because I think a lot of us fall into jobs, go through school, go through education, maybe grasp the first job that comes along, and suddenly it becomes the career. And at some stage during the career, there's a wake-up moment when you think, hang on, how did I end up in this job? I didn't really choose it, it just kind of happened like that. So it's wonderful to be able to work with people and give them that chance to step back and say, yes, but who do you want to be in your work? What will allow the best of you to show through the work that you do.
Do you find some people kind of beat themselves up for kind of wrong decisions as well? Is that something you notice?
Not so much beat themselves up, but just feel trapped, I think, by it. That they feel they've got to stay there because that decision has been made. As I say, they haven't necessarily made it themselves. It could have been parental pressure. It could have been, well, I did a degree in this, therefore I've got to do a job in this. There may be a little bit of guilt, but I think it's what I see more from clients is just that they feel trapped by it.
Right, so you help them open up their thinking about themselves and their possibilities.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, to me, it's about the left and the right brain process. There's a very practical, pragmatic approach you can take to career change, where, yes, there are lots of exercises you can do psychometric assessments, you can kind of rationally analyse your situation, and I think there's a lot of value in that. And that's probably what you get, with a lot of traditional career change, occupational psychologists, that kind of approach. So that's very useful and worthwhile. But I think you need to flip that over as well and say, yes, but what's going on at an emotional level too? So you can't just come up with a rational solution to the problem, because you might, do all the research, do all the exercises, add up the score, and it says, right, I should do this, but your heart's still going,
So you're very much about helping people tap into their heart and their passion and their energy as well, by the sound of it.
Yes, I think so. People come to me from different starting points, and I think I find that some people feel comfortable if I start by saying, well, let's do some exercises just to kind of unpack a few ideas. And other people, you can see, well, they don't really want to do exercises, they want to explore, they want to go straight into the more intuitive approach. But at the end of the day, I think with all my clients, I would want to do a bit of both, because you're not going to make a successful change if you only treat
No,
it as a
both.
rational process
Yeah.
or just as a let's go off and have a dream.
So both are fruitful. Is there a particular story of somebody you've worked with and helped them change that's most satisfying for you? Can you share one of your stories?
Somebody who I was working with recently who was in a job, it's a good example of somebody who trained in a particular career area, had been doing the work, had got very stressed, had had time off sick because of stress, had got better and had ended up going back into similar work because, well, she was trained to do that, and she couldn't really see what else to do, and again found herself getting ill, and needed to step away again. And working with her, we actually did this whole stepping right away from it and saying, you know, just because you've done that degree doesn't mean to say you have to pursue that career. And it was interesting, there was a little bit of, but, you know, what if people see me doing something else? But you've always done this job, you know, how can you possibly do that? And there was a little bit of almost, shame is too strong a word, but I think she was concerned of what other people would think. So there was a little bit of discussion around, so how important is it what other people think and what about what you think? But anyway, through the process of the sessions of coaching that we did, she acknowledged that she was quite an introvert, that she wanted to do something that she could be home-based. She wanted something that would allow her to start a family, not immediately, but in due course. And she discovered that she really liked writing. So she's decided she wants to develop a self-employed career as a writer, not writing novels, but writing articles around the topic that she is an expert in. So she's using her degree, she's using the employment experience that she's had, but she's using it in a different way.
Wow.
And she recognises that this is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take, you know, probably 2 or 3 years to get established. So she's found herself a part-time job, you know, so that she's financially stable. But the last session I had with her, she was really saying, yes, you know, I can see a way forward now. And she got a lovely vision of herself in her little home office writing articles on her specialist subject. But, you know, recognising that this was still a journey.
So it sounds to me like you help people kind of find themselves, know themselves, find themselves, and be themselves.
Yeah, that's quite a nice summary, actually, yes. Yeah, so it's get to know who you are, first of all, and really get comfortable with that, sort of give yourself permission to be who you are. And having done that, then use that knowledge to look around, look outside at what the possibilities might be for them with that knowledge, and then just grow into it.
And what have people said that they've appreciated about working with you? You know, what kind of feedback do you get from clients that you've worked with successfully?
I think for a lot of people, the whole confidence building bit is important. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a confidence building coach, but I think the very process of just giving yourself the time and space to stop and reflect on who you are and what you want to be through your work. And looking at, you know, what skills, what qualities, what values they've got, what interests they've got, you know, what is it that makes them who they are, and how they can kind of offer up that up to the world through the work that they do. I think that whole process is incredibly confidence building, because, you know, people go away from it going, so this is me and I can do all of this, and all these things that I love doing have a value in the world. And that, yes, I can build a career or some kind of work around this.
Brilliant. So that's the feedback you get from people, is they treasure that opportunity to get to know themselves more, become more confident in who they are, and create work around that.
Yeah. And I think, again, like I was saying about the left and right brain approaches, is that that I do approach career change both pragmatically and intuitively. And so I think people like the opportunity to do some practical stuff. And I'm not one of those coaches that will never ever offer a suggestion. I know some coaches kind of feel that that's not in the rule book. I'm very ready to not say, well, I think you should become an X, Y or a Z, but to put ideas on the table and to maybe give a little bit of direction on the basis that here's an idea, what do you think? And if they think it's a good idea, they may run with it. If they don't, they're very happy to put it on one side, and I'm happy too. And they can move on to something else.
Great. And to finish off, I get the sense that you're part of creating a kind of happier world in some way. Do you have a sense of that? That you know, what world do you want to see created through the work that you do?
I think that's a nice thought actually, and although I do a lot of one-to-one work because I've got a website that's got a global reach, I do actually feel I've got a way of reaching a global community of people who want to change career. And yes, I mean, to be happier in the work that you're doing, it comes from doing work that fits you like a suit of you know, well-fitting clothes. So it's helping people to identify what will fit comfortably for them on the basis of what they can learn about themselves. And yeah, I mean, if you just think of a standard commuter train and people travelling up to work in the morning or travelling home at, you know, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and all those grey faces of people kind of drained and hating what they're doing, I would love it when every commuter train was filled with smiling people.
Yeah, I love my work.
A good objective, yes.
Brilliant. Jerry, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, thank you.